Welcome to a new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. Today's episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. But we'll get to that a little later. Guys, sorry, I added in a sponsorship for us. What was I gonna say? Guys, you know this show. You know Much to Do About Nothing. Me and Joel come here, express our grievances. Me more so than Joel. He's usually more positive than I am. But we just did a spinoff show last night called Much to Do About Something. That is the show where when breaking news drops, me and Joel are going to try our best to immediately get together and break down whatever the breaking news is. So you guys don't have to wait the following week till we do an episode of this.
If you're lucky, maybe not even a couple hours.
Right. So it is up on the page. Please go check it out, guys, on our YouTube page. We'll put the link somewhere in the fucking video. But please like, subscribe, comment. Please let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Is there any stories when you watch this that we might have missed that we'll make sure we check off the following week? Whatever you guys want, make it known. All right. So, oh, shit. Sorry. Joining me as always, Joel. What's up, Joel?
What's up, Juwaan? Thanks for letting me in.
I was just about to start because I'm like, I felt as though as long as I was talking, I had said that already. And then I'm like, I don't think I did. But yeah, so I want to start off with sports so we can just get that shit out of the way. So we can get it right out of the way. I was doing the show with Joe and his friend Mike this morning, and they were doing Giants talk. And I'm not talking about the Giants this season, but I just want to hear your thoughts on this. Because Mike's argument was he's done, he's seen enough, no more Daniel Jones, get him the fuck up out of here, let's move on. What I tried to explain to him was, Joel, because he's like, Eli is just a way better quarterback. But what I tried to explain to him was,
because that helps.
Right? But when the Giants made their 2007 run, Eli was having a very average season, right? I always say, and this is absolutely no disrespect. Hear me out. No disrespect whatsoever. I don't attribute that run to Eli. I attribute that run to the fact that defense was able to get your quarterback onto that field a lot. That defense was, I still think it's one of the greatest defenses in playoff history. I don't know the numbers. I don't really care about the numbers. I know what I saw. I know nobody else took New England to the brink during the regular season. Giants did. They almost beat them in the regular season. Part of me wishes they did. So maybe New England would have had a whole new focus come Super Bowl.
Cocky going in,
yeah, we were very. I mean, I'll never forget when the reporter asked Tom Brady, the Giants are saying they can keep you below 16 points. What are your thoughts? And Brady just laughed, and it was just like, maybe you shouldn't have laughed, Brady. maybe you should have held
Take
that.
Take them damn points now, wouldn't you, bitch?
Yeah. You should have held that in, maybe. But yeah. So to me, the point I was making, Joel, sorry, story less long, was that Eli had a few years, right? And it took that transcendent defense to help propel you on a unheard of run. So the point I was making is Daniel Jones is the only young quarterback. I'm taking Mac Jones out of this because he has Bill Belichick. So that's like a fucking like superpower. Is the only young quarterback in the NFL without a top 10 receiver. Think about that for a second. The only young quarterback without a top 10 wide receiver. The Eagles have one. The Eagles have one with what's his fucking name? The fucking kid they just drafted. Is it Smith? No, not Smith. Might be Smith. You know what I'm talking about. But Eagles have one. Eagles have one. Tua has one with Waddle. You can't really think of any young quarterback in the league that does not have a top 10 receiver. And again, Galladay, to me, Joel, is not a number one option. Galladay, to me, is just a better version of Wes Welker. And Wes Welker couldn't be a number one guy.
He's not Wes Welker. They're very different players.
No, I just mean his productivity will never be one of a DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, freaking what's his name up in Cincinnati. Like, he's not a top 10 wide receiver. And I don't think at any point Wes Welker ever was. It was just when you had Randy Moss on the other side, they're doubling that shit every time. So he's open right across the middle. So again, I'm not saying you guys don't have good receivers, but you don't have a number one guy, like a top number one guy. So I'm like, you got to get a better offensive line. Your defense has to play more consistent. And then if Daniel Jones is sucking, we can go, it's Daniel. But there's like a million things before I can get to Daniel that's wrong with the Giants. So I'm just saying, if that's what the Giants do, that's the most New York thing for the fucking Giants to do. And if that's what they want to do and they got a good plan B, by all means. But I don't think anyone you bring in here will do any better. Will do any better with that offensive line. And the inconsistency with your running back. The health problems with some of your receivers. So it's like, again, I kept telling them, you guys are acting like Daniel Jones came into a team that was 11-5, and now he's making them a worse team. That's not the case. That's not the case. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But we don't have to get into the Giants at all. I just wanted to say that because I'm like, I don't know what people are looking at when they watch the Giants.
I don't know why people are talking about Daniel Jones after this week because he didn't play.
Right.
And I don't know how you watch this week's game and not appreciate Daniel Jones for being a quarterback that can play quarterback.
And then I had to fight for him, Joel, because then the term injury prone was being thrown around. And I'm like, Daniel Jones isn't injury prone. What he's going through with his neck is because he was risking his life to get y'all a fucking touchdown on that play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like, oh man,
he's not afraid to get hit.
Right, but here's the difference I was trying to make. Saquon Barkley is injury prone, right? Yes. If you want to go to basketball, Andrew Bynum is injury prone.
Our team is injury prone.
Right, but I'm like, I don't look at Daniel Jones and go, shit, he can never stay healthy. Like, what? I don't think that's what I ever feel. Look, do you feel that when you get Daniel?
Compared to Eli, yes, he's injury prone.
For sure, but Eli
never took a tail.
Eli had, and I don't mean this in that sense, people, so bear with me, please, but I swear to God, he had a retard string. Like, I saw that man get hit, and he just got up, and it was just like, how are you not dead? Like, like Eli's just like, I didn't really hurt that much. And it's like, evidently, because goddamn, man, that's oof.
Yeah, Eli was not. Eli was. We've been lucky, you know. He was an Iron Man for a reason, you know. We weren't. Not a lot of teams get that lucky with a quarterback that plays as long and as healthy as he was, you know, for that long. Daniel Jones, you know, fortunately he has been hurt. He was out of game, and now he's going to be out probably this week too. But you know, whatever. He was, I think, out 3 games last year.
That was it. 3 out of 17. That's injury prone. 3.
That's why those backup quarterbacks actually do matter for a young quarterback. Like Mike Glennon is really, really bad. like, wow. I mean, he was so bad this week.
Well, Joe is saying he misses Colt McCoy, and I'm just like,
me too.
I'm like, you know, your situation's fucked up. Where you going? Can we call Colt? Like, can we call Colt McCoy? It's like, whoa, Colt McCoy? Yes, over Glennon. I'll take Colt McCoy.
Oh my God, it was so glaringly different. I'm like, we probably would have won that game if Daniel was healthy. That's how confident I was in that game. That got away from us because we just couldn't score worth a damn. But we haven't been able to. But this week there were chances. He had time to throw. You know what I mean? He just looked lost. Absolutely lost. I'm like, throw the ball or run. Throw or run. You have time to make a decision. It was so frustrating.
I think it was a sacrifice, Joel. I think the Giants were like, all right, we gave everything we had to give Joel a win when he was here. We don't got that shit every week. Like,
they were Miami.
We can't do it this week. We can do it
the week off. Yeah, the first thing I thought of, I'm like, I'll take it. It's for the draft picks. It's for the draft picks.
And remember, you got Chicago's.
Yeah, so we have 2 good draft picks.
Yeah.
I'll take it. We're nice. Yeah, like, we get good pieces there up front, or we could trade them if we really want to.
Which is gonna suck when you trade it for Russell Wilson.
We don't know that, man.
I'm telling you right now, Joel, book it. Book it. It's happening. It's the moment the final whistle blows in February. Russell Wilson is in New York, bro. It's as good as done. I'm telling you, it's as good as done. It's happening.
We're gonna get a new GM. I don't know if that's what he wants to do right away.
I tell you what,
I don't know if we're ready. We don't have a line, like you said. We're not gonna protect Russell Wilson.
No, but here's the thing: if you're Russell Wilson, here's the thing. I don't think the NFC East is gonna get any better. So it's like if you're Russell Wilson, knowing all you have to do is just win your division, I think that's very manageable.
Probably.
He ain't gonna win it
35 or whatever.
Right. He ain't gonna win in the division he's in. That's Kyler Murray's house now. That's Kyler Murray's house. So yeah, that's why I said, bro, just book it. Don't even think about your draft picks. They won't matter. They're Russell's now.
They matter to me.
They matter if you keep them for sure, because they're great draft picks.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, they're right there, bro. Shout out to the Bears for making that trade for a quarterback they didn't even have playing this week.
It's been out, in and out. I don't know what's going on there, but I'll take it. Thank you, Chicago.
God bless them, because I still don't know what the Giants would have done if they kept that pick.
I don't either, but you know what?
There's literally nothing available that they needed. Let me not say that no one at that point was available that they like. You guys weren't gonna go all in on a quarterback.
No, of course not. We didn't need a quarterback. I mean, I still don't think we need a quarterback, but
I'm with you.
But I think the best thing that came out of that trade was that we have options. Either if we don't have a quarterback problem, we just go in and just add more depth, defense, O-line, whatever. If not, you could always accumulate the draft picks that we have, good picks, to get a good quarterback if we really want to trade for one.
Right.
But like, I didn't expect the defense to dip as much as they, even though they are playing much better. And the offense is just, we need a new coordinator. Well, we get it. I don't expect Joe Judge to get fired, so I do expect a new coordinator and a new general manager. So I don't know. I don't
know. I keep saying when a new GM comes in, I told you I feel the same way about sports as I do with movies. When a new GM comes in, new director comes in, give them the freedom to just say, you know what? There's nothing wrong with Joe Judge, but I would like to hand select my own people. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if you keep Joe Judge, right? And Joe Judge gives you 2 bad seasons, that's the type of shit that gets you fired. That's why it's always best for a GM, unless you're coming into like fucking Tom Brady or some shit.
Right.
Clean house, because that's the type of shit that gets people fired. Clean house and get your own people. So that way, if there's a fuck up, you can at least go, well, look, I went out at least knowing I had my people. Like, those are my guys. I wasn't trying to make something else work. So that's why I said Mike could be right. This could be the Giants. Again, whoever comes in could say no to Daniel, no to Joe Judge, and they have all the right to do so. I'm just saying Joe Judge hasn't shown me he's a bad head coach. Daniel Jones hasn't shown me that he does not have the capabilities to
be a good quarterback. Yeah, right. I agree. I think it's too soon for both.
Yeah.
But with the new GM coming in, it makes it hard to
And if I can be completely honest, we've seen in the NFL within the last 10 years that you don't need to be a phenomenal quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Fucking Jimmy G went to a Super Bowl.
Obviously. But we need Jimmy G, Rex Grossman. You could name him,
Bro, Peyton Manning went to a Super Bowl where he only threw for like fucking 40 yards. But Von Miller was just fucking unbelievable. So I'm like, if Daniel Jones can at least get to where Nick Foles,
Nick Foles. Look at the backup quarterback won the Super Bowl. Think about that.
Think about that, bro. And then not only that, the starting quarterback till now wasn't even the same. So then it just became like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? How did that just flip-flop like that? So again, I have faith, but again, like I said, new GM, if he wants to come in and just say set fire to everything, and it's just like every fucking thing, fire sale.
I wouldn't know
wouldn't
what.
blame him.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him either. Like, fuck it, kill them all.
Kill them all. Because again, like I said, I at least would like to know that if there is a fuck up, it's because of what I did, not trying to put a band-aid. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So that's how I feel. But all right. This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about sex and how you can enhance yours. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy, because we know how embarrassing that is. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package with Blue Chew. Men everywhere are excited to see the postman, because when your package has arrived, your package has arrived. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code GVN at bluechew.com. Promo code GVN to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring our podcast. From one stressful New York team to another, let's get into the Knicks.
Trustful.
Tibbs is saying we might get a whole nother lineup change. I don't know what else he could do to switch up this fucking lineup. It's just the productivity. It's just not there.
Yeah.
All right.
The Nets lost. The Bulls lost.
Mm-hmm.
Was not happy with either of those. But I didn't walk away completely upset, because we were in those games and we could have won both of those games.
Easily both.
We weren't getting dominated. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nope, not at all.
So to go into for Denver to come into our house, which is the issue at the moment, is that we can't win at home, and blow us out the way they did, because that score was way closer than it really actually was, because It was bad. It was really bad. I don't know what happened. And maybe it was an afternoon game. You can chalk it up to that. But when you're on the third loss in a row, that can't be an excuse. It's different if you're like a back-to-back or one of those things. Different. But like, I know it was an afternoon game, but you got to come out and play. And that's your home. You got to defend home court. And they got blasted. Now we're under 500. Now it's a cause for concern. You should be mad. You should be upset, because y'all played like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Again. Like, that's the thing. You played really bad against a team that you basically have a similar record to. You should have destroyed them.
And here's my biggest problem, Joel. And you said this, and I said, okay, I'm gonna see what they do. But you said Kemba's defense is a major problem, which alluded to one of the reasons why you just can't have him part of the lineup. But here's my problem. Mm-hmm. The defense has not gotten any better or any worse than what they were when they had Kemba Walker. You got to put him back in the lineup. But I will say this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll say it when you're done.
I don't know if Denver is the best example of that.
Oh, no. I don't mean Denver. I just mean since Kemba has been removed.
It's only been through those 3 games.
The defense has not been better or worse.
I think that's why, because it was the Atlanta game, actually. So it's been 4 games. Where we looked better. And we have played better. But like, we lost RJ for 2 games in a row. Right. Right after that. And
can I be honest with you? That's what killed us in the Nets game and in the Chicago game. Here's why. And anyone who knows basketball can see this. Think about what beat us in Chicago. DeMar DeRozan. Think about what wasn't a problem for us the last time we played. DeMar DeRozan. What was the one thing we had in the last game we won compared to this game where we lost? RJ guarding DeMar DeRozan. You look at the Nets game. You had nobody that could just check James Harden. He was going off. And me and you said Durant could have 156 points. You cannot let James Harden go off. And apparently the Knicks heard us backwards. The Knicks heard stop Durant and just let James Harden do whatever the fuck he wants to do. It was just like, no, God, no. Like, this is what we were saying you can't do. Stop that guy, and you can let Durant go off. Because Durant can't win a game by himself. Ask Milwaukee. So if you can put the clamps on James Harden, it makes it drastically difficult for the Nets to win any fucking games, let alone as close of a game as we played them. So having RJ back and him getting back to 100% will help in some of these games with these bigger guys, with these bigger teams that we're playing.
I think that hurt our defense, not having RJ there for both those games. Right. And he was obviously rusty during that Denver game.
Right, yeah.
But he's also not the only guy that played bad that game. A lot of people played bad. It was a really bad game for a lot of people.
No, I was saying that as a compliment to RJ, that I think if he was healthy in that Brooklyn in Chicago game, we might have won. So no, I don't hold anything against him. I know he's having his shooting woes. But we saw last year that he turned it around in the same season. That's usually unheard of from a guy that young. So where they start off just fucking horrific and then they completely turn it around like that. Look, I don't know. I'm not screaming there needs to be a fire sale. I'm not screaming there needs to be anything drastic to happen. But I will say that it makes me nervous, Joel. It makes me real nervous, man, because I'm not at least seeing anything that I could hang my hat on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's bothering me the most. But by no means do I think.
Well, again, if we just take the Denver game out, there are things that we could hang our hats on. I think the Chicago game and that Brooklyn game, we are very close to just finding whatever it was. It's just there are just holes in the offense. Again, that seems to be the issue, and that hasn't changed. Taking Kemba didn't help the offense, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? Defense has gotten better, but again, the offense is where you can't be getting outscored by like fucking 20 points in the quarter. You put yourself in a hole to come back and try to win it. You should have blown the team out if you're going to be up 20. You don't go down 20 to come back up to, you know what I mean?
I do. I
mean, you can't. The comeback against Brooklyn was beautiful, but and like, don't get me wrong. And then we bitch about like calls and shit, which rightfully so. But like, we put ourselves in that situation.
I like I said, I agree with Shaq. I told my dad that I agree with Shaq. It happens, man. You just got to suck that shit up, man. You got to suck it up, and you got to make it harder for them to not call shit. Like, all I'm saying is I could look at LeBron and go, well, LeBron's just stronger than literally anybody in the NBA. I could see how that's a tough call. Bro, I could see someone punching Julius Randle in the face and go, that's a foul. So what Julius was saying, they said to him, I don't understand. I'm just as confused as Julius Randle was. I'm not getting calls because I'm strong. I don't understand. How is that an indictment on me?
How's that my fault? That's not fair.
Like, isn't the whole point for me to get stronger? I don't understand that. So to me,
he's not flopping is what it is.
But you get fined for that. So I'm like, I don't understand. Like, they tell you don't flop or you lose money.
Right.
And
but
then
if
the
I
refs
don't flop, they don't call anything.
Right. And then the refs are saying, well, you're not convincing enough when you get fouled. And it's just, I don't know what the middle area is here. Like, what am I aiming for?
Yeah. And then he gets yelled at because he's not Kevin Durant. I'm like, well, it's supposed to be fair. It doesn't matter who Kevin Durant is.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. Why should he be called differently just because he's a bigger name? That's bullshit.
I was just about to say, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in superstar calls. I believe in, is it a call? Is it a call? I can't tell you how many times I've seen LeBron fucking travel. 1,000,000 times. And it's never called. If it is against the rules or a foul or whatever, just call it. Just call it. Or at least be more consistent with not calling it. You know what I'm saying? There should never be a point where Durant's at not Durant, but the Nets are at the line 60 times and the opposing team is at the line 15. Like, bro, as a ref, you have to understand that you can't do that. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? You're taking away the integrity of the game. So, but again, like Shaq said, if you're Julius Randle, get over it. Get over it. Understand that it's just how it is. It just, until the players union comes together to try to figure out a better way around it. Like, thank God the NBA found a way around that whole lean in shooting shit. So I'm like, if they could do that, the competition committee will figure out a way to figure this ref shit out. They will. It won't be perfect, but at least it'll be somewhat better than how horrible it is right now. So, because I mean, look, not being able to jump into someone and get those threes off is gonna help whoever plays Brooklyn or Atlanta in the playoffs, because you're not gonna be able to get those give me's. So where James Harden just walks to the lane and goes, he slapped me, foul, thank you. Like, you can't get that anymore. You know, you can't get the step back. Let me lean.
Wasn't getting him until he played New York for some reason.
Right. Yeah. Funny, right? But all right. So the Knicks play tomorrow against the Spurs, I believe. That is a great game to just get back on track. If you lose that game, it doesn't get any.
Don't play hard. I mean, I don't want. You can't sleep on them, but
no. I'm not sleeping on them, but what we know the Knicks can be, and what you were just saying, there were some things to hang the hats on. San Antonio is not the team to lose to.
No,
because it doesn't get any better.
This schedule is winnable, so you need to come back and get it in some type of winning streak.
Because I look at it like this. I look at it like this, bro. The Cavaliers are good this year. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on.
Sexton.
Right. So I'm like, if the Cavs are good, right, and you just got ass waxed by the Cavs, Spurs has to be an easier game than that. It just has to be. Like, at least I can look back on that Cavaliers loss and go, well, they're good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're blow us out good, but they're good. The Spurs I look at and they're like, they're just not good. So to lose to that team would be baffling. Like, how? Why? I don't understand. What did you do? So yeah. So hopefully we get back on track tomorrow. It's an away game. And like Joel said, apparently the only way they can win games is on the road. So we'll see if that's a motive.
That's true. We might be better off away from home.
Yeah.
This might be the time to make a comeback. We just come back home over 500 is all I ask.
Yep. And look, last time we asked the favor of the Knicks, they granted it, Joel. Remember the last time we said, shit, if you could beat the Sixers and Chicago, that'd be great. And they were like,
the same week,
no
yeah. And then we lost to fucking who we lose to? Indiana
Cavaliers.
or Orlando, whatever. Oh yeah,
yeah, it was the Cavaliers.
I'm like,
I'll never forget that shit. I'm sorry. You embarrassed Philly. You surprised Chicago, and then you let Ricky Rubio get 30 off the fucking bench.
Yeah.
Don't get it. I understand. I understand the world, I guess. But all right, let's move on. Let's get out of sports because we're frustrated enough. Let's get out of sports. Let's talk a little bit about Hawkeye, Joel. You came on, not much to do about nothing. You came on Marvel Cinematic Review last week and talked it, but we didn't talk it on this podcast. So we can just go through some of the broad strokes. But what were your thoughts?
I wasn't on it last week because I missed it.
You were on. You came on at like 9 something.
Like at the end.
Oh, no. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So let's go through it.
It was like a half hour.
Yeah. You're right. I thought you were saying like, oh, I didn't make it on there. I'm like, bitch, then somebody is a really good Joel impersonator because you were there. Okay, so no, I'm sorry. Give me your full thoughts on this episode 4 of Hawkeye.
Great episode. That was the main thought. It was another great episode because the first 2 were good. This one was even better. I think it was slightly shorter too.
It was,
but it was great. You know what I mean? Like, there were so many cool moments in that show, and like I do love the dynamic between Kate and Clint, and the whole thing with Echo, the amazing. The whole thing with Echo, I think that's what made the episode. Obviously, was her little backstory.
Did you know that they're related?
Who's that?
The two actresses.
Who?
Her younger self, and then.
Or I was saying to myself, like, they picked a perfect little girl. She looks just like her.
Apparently, I saw somewhere that they're cousins. I think.
No shit, they look a lot alike. Because I look at them like,
when I first saw it, I was just like, you went down her bloodline for that. Like, you didn't do a casting call. You just went, do you got any family that acts that that we can go get? And it's like, yeah, I got someone. It's like, okay, cool. But yeah, so that they're cousins. But I'm sorry. Oh wait, one thing I wanted to throw in really quick because you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were saying, especially when we were doing a review last week, that they liked how Echo and Kate were mirroring each other. And my only issue is I'm not seeing the connection. I'm seeing that their upbringings are similar, but there's no relationship between the two. It seems like the relationship, and you know what I mean by relationship, but it seems like the relationship is between Echo and Clint. So it's like, well, you showing that their upbringings are similar. And again, we have 3 more episodes, including this week, to find out, but you got to bring some kind of connection between Kate and Echo for that to really hit. Or as a viewer, I'm just seeing it as a coincidence. I'm like, oh, your dad died, my dad died. Well, that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not one of the things where you go, oh, that could have only happened to Echo and Kate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
I need to see them interact more to where I can go, I love how similar they are, but they just had different walks of life because of money. But since it seems like Clint and Echo are the connection, I just didn't get that.
Right. Yeah, there was definitely, I guess, a parallel between the two. But they were raised to, I mean, one was actually raised to be a criminal. You know what I mean?
A killer, more so.
Yeah, more. Yeah, she was trained to hurt you.
Right.
But she was also disabled, so she was also special treatment. She went to a special school, all that shit. And Kate was trained almost not self-trained, because she definitely wasn't, but she was self-motivated to want to learn all that. And luckily for her, she had a mother who, backed her and paid for everything.
Right. Yeah.
And so did Echo, because obviously Echo had someone there to back her too.
Uncle, yeah.
Right, uncle, right. So she had someone there watching her back. So there's a parallel there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Uncle, you have Eleanor's little daughter, and you have Uncle's adopted daughter. You know what I mean? Like a niece. Yep. So there's definitely like you said, a parallel. I didn't catch it while watching that, but yeah, they're definitely, you could definitely look at it that way. Mm-hmm. But we're also gonna get an Echo spin-off, so like we'll have more time to spend with Echo.
Oh, for sure.
Separately, down the line. And this is a more Kate and Clint story, but hey, look, we're gonna get a lot more Echo probably in this and then this going forward. And like obviously next week, they're already teased that we'll probably get Elena, so we'll see how everything plays out. But this week we definitely got, we just mentioned the uncle. Who the fuck is that? Even though we kind of have an idea.
We know. Don't say we have an idea. We know, Joel. That's Vincent. That is Vincent as Kingpin.
Yeah. If it isn't, I'll be so surprised. And I'll be very disappointed. I don't need that again. So yes, Vincent, it looks like it might be the Kingpin, obviously. Like they gave it away at the fucking at the auto shop versus Fat Man. Yeah. Automotive. I'm like, oh God, just tell me more. Like,
to me, I swear, like, even if he didn't lean over and give the laugh, I knew it just off of the walk. They made sure that the audio was super high. Because if you listen closely, you could hear her dad walking away. And it's such low steps. And then you hear ka-doom, ka-doom, ka-doom. And it's like, oh, bro, what the who else in Marvel are you gonna go with that makes sense? That's that heavy. So right. I'm like, you'd be going out of your way to not make it Kingpin.
Even if it wasn't that heavy, it's just they're making sure that that he is just heavy.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. Yeah, I don't mean it like, oh, he's this huge guy. I meant it more so. because again, the chuckle was so like quick and you miss it if you're not listening.
You could definitely maybe misinterpret the chuckle, even though it does sound like him.
Right. But they wanted to make sure that the steps you could hear. You go, oh,
that's his fingers, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, come on.
He's not a small guy. You can definitely tell by even you only really get the hip, but it doesn't look like it's a thin dude. That's basically it. And like you said,
cufflinks.
You're right, he had the cufflinks, but also like you said, you could hear him coming.
Yeah, they clearly did that for a reason. They didn't just do that like, oh, people want to know what people sound like walking. Like, no, you did that for a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we're not beating around the bush. Shit, come on, man. That's fucking Kingpin.
Yeah, and after the news we got yesterday, I'm like, well, like,
I mean, we're gonna get into that right after this, but no, I mean, look, you can't like. Me and Joel got over it. I'll speak for myself. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. You making Sharon Carter the power broker, I still don't like. Mainly because it was just the weirdest fucking decision to make.
So,
but to me, that's more so going out of your way to do something you think is so different. Don't pull that shit here with Kingpin. If it's Kingpin, it's Kingpin. If it's not Kingpin, just understand the amount of shit you just set yourself up for.
For real.
The thing about this, Joel, Trayvon still won't let go of the fact that he assumed the engineer had to have been one of the Fantastic Four.
I mean, look, that's a good example of one of those, like, we all assumed it was something bigger than it really was. Right. But then that was fucked up because they kind of made it seem like it was bigger than it really was.
They did.
That's why I was mad. I was like, well, that was fucking terrible.
Because the writing on that was so frustrating because you easily could have just said, oh, I got a friend from my days back, from my mom's days working with S.H.I.E.L.D. that is an engineer. And we could have said, oh, well, clearly that's not going to be Reed or Sue. But you specifically left it open-ended so that we had to wait for that moment to pop up in the next episode. So I'm like, to me,
oh, man, that's so frustrating.
Please just stop doing that. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that anymore. Let that be the last time you do that. If you're gonna do a surprise, let it just pop up. Let it just pop up. Like, let Monica go, oh, I made a phone call, and then the guy walks in. It's like, that's Reed. Like, don't do any more stringing us along. Because I swear to God, when I found out who the power broker was, I almost broke my television. Like, wait, what? Huh? Then that whole what do you call those? That whole storage container scene made no fucking sense. She led them there. Why would you help them at all? All you had to do is say, look, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
if I hear anything, I'll call you guys.
I'm like, I'm so confused right now.
And you know what's funny, Joel? Scream, the first Scream movie, did a better job swerving than Falcon and the Winter Soldier did. Because again, me and your biggest issue wasn't necessarily that it was Sharon Carter. I still don't like it, but it was more so that it was just like, the only reason I didn't say her was that it was just so fucking obvious.
Well, first, like you said, I didn't like it, but it was like you also said, it was just predictable. And not that I was guessing it was her, because it just seemed like they kept pointing towards her on purpose.
Right.
So I'm like, that's the what they call it?
Misdirection.
Yes, misdirection. Yeah. Oh, that was perfect direction. It was right here. So here, arrows.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were gonna get a scene where either either Sam or Bucky is like, Sharon, we know it's you. And then all of a sudden comes out someone else, and it's just like, no, that's the power broker. And we're just like, oh shit, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? But for you to just go, no, it is Sharon. It's like, what? Why would you think we would want that? Or even be excited by that? Or even be entertained by that? Like, who cares? Right. and then I'm like, you made it even worse. And I'm like, a chance for you to fix it to where I'm intrigued would have been if she walked off to the side and made that phone call, and then she hung up and her skin turned green. I'm like, that would have been how you fix it to where I go, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense because it's not really Sharon. But for you to double down on it and go, no, it's really Sharon. All right, well, I'm checked out. But Joel, I want you to talk a little bit about, man, us finally really getting to see Clint let it rip. I mean, we're just used to seeing him fight really aliens and shit. So seeing him fight more street level is pretty fucking awesome. What were your thoughts on that escape scene, and then lead me into your thoughts on us seeing some PIM technology pop up in this episode?
Well, I love seeing Hawkeye whoop that ass, when he got a chance. People forget he can do damage. You know what I mean? So it was nice seeing him his perfect shot every time he could during the beating up on the tracksuits in the beginning when he was escaping, and of course having Kate showing her wherewithal with the arrows as well as he was driving away, and the whole him because we didn't know when we first saw that scene that his hearing aid broke. Right. So that was an interesting scene. Like, okay, so this is the prelude to the scene we already saw them driving. He couldn't even hear during that fucking whole part.
And I thought he was just being an asshole, but no, it was like I can't hear anything. Well, I thought he was just saying that like, right, I'm driving.
He's apparently he's just hard of hearing more so than deaf, but he obviously needs a hearing aid to hear clearly, or else you got to talk in his ear.
I mean, I know you don't know, but that was what I was trying to figure out, and it's not that important, but it struck me. So I'm like, he only has it in one ear. So I'm like, when he had it out, can he not hear anything in the other ear at all?
I don't know.
It was confusing.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like completely deaf in one ear and then this ear is surviving because of the damn hearing.
Right. That's what I couldn't understand, because I understood Echo telling him like, don't rely on that. Like, don't rely on the hearing aid.
Well, it's easy for you. You were raised that way.
Right. Clint's like, I only know how to tell you about cookies and shit. But to me, I was just really curious about it because I'm like, well, if he's completely deaf in one ear, I could see why he's so reliant on that other one. But I'm like, they've never really made it clear. So I don't know. But okay, I know you didn't know, but I just wanted to express that because I'm like, I don't think they've made it 100% clear yet where he stands on both ears. We know one.
Right, 100%. And
so what was your thoughts on seeing some PIM technology?
Oh, so the bridge scene was really fucking cool. That was where shit got really comic booky, but I loved it because, like you said,
I love when Joel.
He's like, shoot it high. I'm like, why is it like, why shoot it high? You're like, well, understand. Then you understand. And talk about a good shot because he fucking shot an arrow in the sky. You know what I mean?
Hit another arrow.
Yeah, he hit an arrow with another arrow. It's not easy. It can't be easy to do. And that shit came right down. Bam. I think I was watching something that pointed out that the arrow tips weren't like sharp. They were like trainer arrows or whatever the fuck. They're not.
Oh, non-lethal.
Deadly. Non-lethal, right?
Gotcha.
So when he was hitting them, but obviously they weren't like, it was deadly arrows. They'll wound you, but they won't.
Yeah, you won't use your hand again, but you won't die.
Exactly. Well, especially that one guy. He's like, ah. So,
I was asked this. I was asked this last week, and my answer was no.
Okay.
But someone was saying how that one guy who got hit with a flash drive, which I'm like, well, if anyone really gets shot in the chest with a flash drive, it's not going to go through your skin. I think people forget how strong bones are. But that's one. Two, They were asking me, because he broke the window with his bare hands, do I think he's juiced up on something? And I'm like, no. No. I'm like, I've seen humans punch glass before. I've seen crazy ass exes punch glass and it break, and they don't have any kind of Mirakuru or any kind of shit in their bodies. Super soldier serum, nothing. So, but what are your thoughts? Do you think he's juiced up on something? The main Bromigo?
Bromigo. No, I don't think he's. I didn't get that vibe just because it bounced. Because I think it was just a USB drive. They played it off like it was nothing.
Right. It was also a play off of the comics where he actually utilized that that USB arrow. So I just took it more so as a joke.
He used it in the movies too. He used it, I think, in and I think he used it in what the fuck? What If? Remember?
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how far he was. I don't know how it bounced off, which is funny. But like, I don't know. I didn't take it like it just wasn't lethal, obviously.
It's a USB. It going through your body is just it's slim to none. It's almost impossible at any range. It's a flash drive. Like,
it might bruise you if you're.
Yes, could it hurt? 100%. But I've never seen someone go, "How did you kill her?" I just stabbed her 172 times with my USB drive.
My USB port, yeah. I mean, you could go through it. Maybe, I don't know about your chest.
Yeah, to me, I didn't read into it that way, so I didn't think so. I just wanted to know what you thought. I thought we were on the same page.
You know, it's not that fucking unbelievable that he punched your window.
Right. But yeah, so that was it. Like you said, and I love the way you said it. It was very comic booky. That entire bridge scene.
Yeah, the whole bridge scene.
Whole bridge scene was comic booky. I am hoping at some point they fix it. I don't like just calling him Pizza Dog. I'm okay with it for right now. But I do need at some point for them to be like, "You're a really fucking lucky dog." Yeah. And then going, "Lucky." I like that. Lucky the Pizza Dog. Because just Pizza Dog sounds so weird. So weird. I did like Kate drawing Clint a picture of his comic book accurate costume. I thought that was really awesome. Earth's Mightiest Heroes is the only reason I've ever liked that costume. I never liked that costume until that cartoon. Because I just thought it was just so fucking ridiculous. Like, what is he wearing a mask for? Like, I don't understand. What is he protecting? I never.
He wasn't always. He was a criminal first.
Oh no! Then if you're a criminal, I understand that. But the likelihood of people recognizing you enough to go, "Hey, wait a minute, you had some outstanding warrants." Like, no.
No.
Like,
I don't like that. He's a superhero. Superheroes wear masks. I mean, so him wearing a mask at the time, it's not that unbelievable, So, but like him implementing him into the MCU as agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like they did in like the Ultimate Universe.
Right.
And there's no need for a mask. So you're like, I get. I at least give him the glasses. And you want to do that either, but whatever.
Yeah, you know what suit was my favorite. The Ultimate was my favorite Hawkeye suit ever. It will always.
I like the one later on when he had guns. That suit was cool.
That suit was pretty cool. And you know what?
I didn't like the first one because it was red. Why did they give him red? I never understood that.
I never understood red either. I'm gonna be honest with you. My favorite Hawkeye costume is probably the one you first get when you play Marvel's Avengers. Just a plain T-shirt with the dagger on the shirt. Oh. It's the simplicity of it.
The one that he wears in the comic, the one. The one that's based off. He wears that a lot. The one I like the most, I don't know. I do like the classic suit if they do it right. Mm-hmm. But if it's like more traditional, nah. But I do I've seen really good versions of that costume, and it looks cool. But again, you need a good reason to wear that suit. They never made one. So
the suit that they show. Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, if we're talking about a Hawkeye costume, I do like the one you got on right now, the one behind you. Yeah. That one's not bad. Yeah.
Well, that's the one that when you go on Disney Plus, that they're showing him and Kate both wearing.
Well, a version of that.
Right. And
it's a long sleeve version of that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I like that one. Like if you're gonna completely tear it down what he was wearing, it's basic. I like it.
Yeah, I'm very much a fan of simplicity. It's why when Oliver just had just the hood, I was fine with that. I was 100% fine. It was the simplicity of it. I just needed this. Him not having this is what irked my soul. Once he got this, I was good. When he started doing the whole no sleeves, and I was just like, no, you're doing extra. Enough of that.
I loved it because that was like the comic book. Like Hawkeye had no fucking sleeves in his first movie, in the Avengers movie.
That's right. Yep. That's absolutely.
So it's not out of this world, It's just.
Well, I mean, as an archer, usually people don't have sleeves. It's the freedom you need, so you don't restrict your arms in any way. Right. Exactly. You need the bendability because if your arm can't bend back, that arrow's off. Yeah.
You need the shoulder,
Right. And I love Barry's line. Barry's just like, no sleeves? What do you do when you get cold? And he's just like, I don't get cold. It's just like, You want to be Batman so bad, bro. like that's such a Batman line where Clark's just like, oh, you want me to warm you up? Bitch, I don't get cold. I'm Batman. It's just like, that makes sense.
He's also never exposes his skin, so he's probably never cold.
Even if Bruce did, Bruce would still never get cold.
Very rare. Ever his mouth. That's it.
I'm just picturing when you say that. I'm just picturing Bruce in the Batcave telling Alfred, like, "Did you just hear what Joel said? I do leave my mouth exposed in the winter. Fix that, Alfred. Build me something. Cover this mouth."
It has to be something that he wears during the winter.
But yeah, so I mean, I did like going back to Kate's house, and then we end the episode on Clint having Jack having the sword, Ronin's sword, to the neck of Clint. We didn't see Clint fully turn around to notice him, but there is a clip, like a clip that Marvel had released of Eleanor, Jack, Kate, and Clint all sitting together. And I swear to God, again, it's out of context. So I'm making sure I preface this. But I swear, Joel, it just does not seem like they know each other. And that's really gonna fucking piss me off.
Him and Jack?
It is. Yeah, Jack and Clint. Yeah.
I mean, if it happens, it happens, sucks.
It's just so weird. Like, it's such a non-important character to introduce that has no connection to the reason why he would even be in the show. That's the only thing that upsets me.
It makes sense for him to be in the show, but if you're not going to connect him and Clint, like, well, you didn't need him.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, if you have the connection with him and Clint, then by all means, for sure, put him in the show. But if they don't recognize each other, it's just like, well, I don't understand.
Why did you use Swordmaster for?
You could have just made up a character.
I think one of my favorite theories that I heard, now obviously we'll find out this week, was that Jack was the first Ronin. That was a cool theory, and that it was passed on to Clint from Jack. And that's why he wanted the sword, because that sword is actually his.
That
would be cool.
That's what Joe said to me last week, and my response to him was, I just prefer it to be Clint, only because I like the idea of him having to face his actions with Echo, knowing that a consequence of his actions is meeting back up with him. But if we find out that wasn't Clint that killed her dad and it was Jack, it then just passes it. And I think it's so much better if his character has that healing of, because at the time when Clint was Ronin during the events of Endgame, he was killing everybody. He didn't care about anything. So I'm like, I like the idea that he was in that mindset enough to where it's just like, I'm just killing everybody. But I mean, look, if it happens the way that you're saying, cool. But I'll accept that because that means that they will have a connection. And that's really all I want.
That's all I want.
That's really all I want. I'm just a big fan of heroes that go that route, having to face the consequences of it. And Clint looking Echo in the face, knowing, like, I killed your dad. I'm the reason why you didn't have a dad, even though he was, probably a fucking criminal. Facing that, I think, is good for Clint, and it will help him retire. But if it goes that way, I'm fine, because it just means that Clint and Jock know each other, and that's all I really.
I just when I heard the theory, I was like, I like that theory, because then it kind of switches it up. Where in the comic book it was
Echo,
she passes to him, or and then this is Jack passes to, and it still connects where they have probably a past because of that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll find out soon. But that would be cool, because I just like the idea of them still having a connection, even if it's not the connection that we are used to. You know what I mean?
I mean, it still could be the connection that we're used to. Him passing it to him had to have meant he trusted him on a level unlike anything else.
Right.
You're essentially telling him, hey, I'm this murderer. You now become this murderer.
You have taken on, now I will give this to you.
Right. So I'm like, to do that means you trust this person more so than anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so look, if there's a connection, I'm fine. Honestly, Joel, can I be honest with you? This show can end on whatever it wants. As long as they show me Kingpin They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, honestly.
They can
Do what you want. Just
do
give
what
me
you
what I want.
Kingpin is there. You have my blessing. I'll complain about nothing. Because that was the only thing that we heard rumors, right? But it's the same gut feeling I had, and I was just like, it makes so much sense to bring in Kingpin, but will they? And it brought me back to exactly how I felt about Mephisto. It makes all the sense in the world, but will they? And they didn't. So I'm like, I never expected Kingpin, let alone this early on in the season, for them to give us that tease. I'm like, well, shit, if they're doing it, do it. Go full bore. So I can't wait. And then obviously we talked about before, I can't wait to see how he weaponizes her going forward, because I think she will become a hero, but I think she still owes a lot to Kingpin. And I can't wait to see Matt Murdock be what frees her. Because I told you, and I know a lot of people, every time I say this, they're just like, Juwaan, what? That makes no sense. I really have no interest in seeing Elektra again. I don't. I've kind of felt like I've been there, done that. So I'm like, I wouldn't mind if Echo became that love interest, and he's trying to get her away from Kingpin.
I need Matt to stay a bachelor.
I don't need them being boyfriend, girlfriend. You know what I mean? I'm just saying the kind of like he and the night nurse were. Like, they were never boyfriend and girlfriend, but he was 1,000% hit.
Yeah, I mean, he hits them all. That's why I'm like, you got to give Matt his due.
That's fine. That's 100% fine. To me, Echo and Elektra, it's too similar, way too similar. It is. I don't need both.
I guess they're similar, but I mean, we can take your time with Elektra. Now we're no rush for that anytime soon.
So let me ask you this, because here's the biggest reason why I'm like, we've kind of been there, done that. What would you even do that could be different?
I do it more accurately.
Like we never. Let me know.
The bullseye thing.
Oh,
they didn't do that right the first in the show.
Yeah. Wait. You mean when Bullseye kills her?
Yeah.
Well, well, see, the only way you can do that.
Like, they never killed her.
The only way you could do that is if it does not connect to the Netflix universe.
That's what I'm saying. If it's a soft reboot and they do it Elektra, I mean, fuck it. Then let's fix it.
I tell you what, man. Me and you thought Feige retconning X-Men would be difficult. This is really difficult. Even a soft reboot is going to be difficult, because it's like a lot of what they did was really fucking cool, that now you're telling me, well, nah, none of that anymore. It's just like,
yeah, but I mean, but they can do it more accurately now with other characters, and that's why I think there's a chance with a better costume. Like
even though she was, I liked every look they gave Elektra. She was probably the best costume in the Defender series, and in that season of Daredevil. She's probably the best. Not probably. I'm sorry. She was the best out of those two.
Punisher had the best costume. Well, that's because it really
no. I mean, out of the Defender series and out of season 2 of no, Punisher didn't have. He did in the very last episode of. He did put on the vest. Okay, so you're right. Okay, I get that. But all right, let's move on from that. Let's talk a little bit about Daredevil. Kevin Feige made it known that the next time we see Daredevil, or when we see Daredevil in the MCU, he will indeed be played by Charlie Cox. When, where, if, how, why, who, you, do, is unknown. But if you watch the actual interview where he said this, I will say this. Amy Pascal, when he said when, she looked at him and started laughing. So
you cannot play poker, is what you're saying.
100%. In my mind, when she did that, that was way of going, Spider-Man. Watch Spider-Man. I get paid for this shit. Watch.
She giggles.
She's just like, you're gonna see it so soon. And again, Joel, we said this on our.
You must hate doing press with her.
Bro, I swear to God, I swear he does. Because I'm telling you right now, Amy Pascal and you have siblings, so you know this. Amy Pascal is 100% the sibling that your parent goes, nah, you take them with you to the mall. And you're just like, oh my fucking God. Like, bro, when we get in here, don't touch shit, don't say shit, don't even breathe when we walk in here. And I swear that's what Feige tries to tell Amy Pascal every time they do press together. Amy, when we get in here, coma. She's like, I can't say nothing. Hi, I'm Amy. That's it. Don't do, say, breathe, nothing else. Because this isn't the first time. We clearly know Joelle, her biggest moment in Sony infamousy is when she was just like, oh no, Venom is gonna connect to the MCU. The fuck he will. I don't know who told you that. He's just like,
we'll see.
You edit that out?
He kind of admitted that that after Venom, he said Venom did so well.
Right.
He did well. You can't argue that. And Tom
Hardy, we said that, Joel. Remember when I said Venom was my most anticipated heading into that year? Because I said if this movie does good, we'll get the bridge that we're looking for. But I don't think Feige will jump on that until after he sees how well it does. So it makes sense. But when she said it during the press of it, he was just like, bitch, what? I didn't say that.
We'll see.
Like, we didn't even have a conversation about this.
The end of Venom 2 gave away that it was a separate world.
Right.
And now that he pops into Peter's world, you're like, first of all, how? Second of all, will he stay? Like,
see,
there's a lot of that.
I thought was, damn, Amy is good at her job. Amy was just like, Venom will be in the MCU. Watch, he'll be there. Don't you worry. But yeah, so Daredevil will be played by Charlie Cox whenever we see him. Me and Joel heavily believe we will see him as soon as Spider-Man No Way Home, and as late as Echo, which probably won't come out until 2023.
We may see him. Yeah, we're going to see him in a possible couple places. So at least right now, I can't say confirmed, but 4 rumored places would be Spider-Man, She-Hulk, Echo, and his own Disney Plus show.
Right. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what plays out from this. I'm excited to see where what they decide to do with him. Because again, us just seeing Vincent D'Onofrio will give us an inkling on if this is a soft reboot, hard reboot, what. We won't know until we actually see him and see what his motivations are.
We'll see who's around him. We'll see what story we can like parse out from what little we get of him, probably.
Yep.
But man, is it exciting! I can't lie, I might tear if we see him soon. So.
Ain't no might. I'm crying. Ain't no might. I am crying. I will cry like a little bitch. All right, let's move on. Let's get into CW. Because Flash did that damn thing.
Flash has been really good.
I tell you what, never, ever. Well, Batman, when that movie comes out next year, will have changed that. But I've never been more orgasmic watching anything comic book than I was hearing Barry say the words injustice 150 fucking times. I'm just like, that clearly needs to be a crossover next year.
Injustice Protocol.
We need, and I'm like, the fact that they even came up with that, I'm just like, you're teasing some shit. But then obviously when you see how the episode ends, you go, oh, you're not teasing it for a future crossover. You're literally doing injustice. Like, because in that world where Barry just entered, it is spun the other way, where it looks like Barry is the bad guy and Eobard is the
Flash. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you're like, okay, so you're doing injustice. All right, fine, whatever. But no, I've been really enjoying it. And I started crying when Cho was when they were just like, what is he doing here? And Cho went to his watch. I'm like, you gonna suit up? Like, put that suit on. Like, do it.
Go power.
Like, nah, I'm not morphing today. And he's just like, damn it, Cho, do it. Stop making us wait. Just do it. So I was really excited to see that. I was really excited to see him. You've been hyping him up for a while, Joel. So I'm with you, man.
Well, we've got this. Well, luckily, we saw behind the scenes of him in the costume, and I was like, "Whoa, that looks super fucking accurate." You don't remember?
No.
It was literally a couple months ago. I sent you pictures.
No. Bro, I tell you this all the time. Yes, you showed me. I will never deny that you always showed me. I don't remember is what I'm saying. I don't remember what it looked like.
I remember specifically telling you, I'm like, look at that suit. Look at it really well. Remember who was the one that supposedly made Flash's costume?
Right.
Ryan, right? So if Ryan made the suit, why does his suit look almost, I mean, it looks like it's made out of the same material as what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's fucking a cool. Literally, it's only been, it's what, 2-3 years now that he's been using that costume.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes back. Like Ryan is wearing a similar looking, like similar materials costume because he's the one that designed it in the future. And you're like, oh, that's fucking cool.
That's so interesting because I wonder how they're gonna bring it full circle. Because once you show me that he's in the suit, I want you to fast track that shit. You know what I'm saying?
He becomes the Atom.
Right. I want you to fast track it. So I wonder if Barry comes back and he just goes, "You're gonna build some real cool shit," and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's just like, "You just wait, motherfucker." But yeah. So I like how this is going. I did see you know, at the end of every episode they show a clip of the next episode. Can I just say Tom Cavanaugh?
What?
I never knew the discrepancy in body until I saw Tom Cavanaugh in Grant's suit and Grant in his suit. Because Grant looks the same. Tom Cavanaugh's belly slightly hangs in Grant's suit. So I'm like, oh, wow. I thought you guys were literally like the same size and everything.
No, he's bigger. Even his chest is bigger. And his arms are bigger.
Right, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
I'm like, wow,
I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. But I can't wait to see how this all plays out. Because I remember saying, Joel, you only got 2 episodes left. So when are you bringing in Batwoman? I didn't know she was going to be a future. I didn't know her.
I didn't know that. I didn't know all of them were going to be future.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm like, oh, okay. I said, I want them to fast track that. Because now that I see it, I want it. I want more of it. I want his own show. I want whatever you can give me of it. I want it. But what were your thoughts on this this new episode of last week's episode of Flash?
Good. It was another good episode. So far, so like it just seems like we're getting it. It just seems like it's so far. I've not been upset with any episode we've gotten so far, and I've been very happy with this crossover. Not it is a crossover, but it's not like a crossover. You know what I'm talking about? It's all Flash.
It's just it's like a precursor to the next season of Flash.
Right.
And
so it's a nice. It's like a mini movie before this new season.
And for our listeners, for you guys that are just like, what are you saying? What we're saying is a crossover usually has implications on each character. This only has an implication on Barry and the core Flash group. Batwoman's not being affected by it right now. Black Lightning's not somewhere necessarily being fully affected by it right now. Barry's in the future. This is a whole Barry story that's bringing in.
Right. It's all Flash. We're not jumping from show to show.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're all like, so this whole thing now, we jump to the future. I forget how many years. How much? 10 years? Some shit like that.
No, I don't think it was that long. Because remember, he was coming to kill Barry now. So I think it was within the next year or two. I don't think that's short.
Damn it, I don't remember how far into the future it was. It wasn't that short though.
Only reason I said that was because if it isn't that short, it was really weird that he picked the timeline now to come back and kill Barry when you could have just did it like a month before he became evil and killed them then. So that's why I thought it was a specific reason why he came back now. Because remember, he said now is where Barry starts to become evil.
Okay, I know.
I think the projection isn't maybe that far.
But they do jump into the future. He runs into the future. And apparently now roles are reversed. That's why I don't think it's that quick either. Because you're like, you don't fucking fall in love with the enemy that quickly within a year.
But I was confused. Was that not just an alternate? I
don't know. That's what I don't know. I don't know if it's like the same universe. Is it an alternate universe? Do they not recognize him as Barry? Is he earbarred in their eyes? You know what I mean? We don't know. Because as far as we know, wearing the reverse. Now he has a reverse. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen pictures. Him wearing the reverse Flash suit. So as far as we know, he changes his suit and he's wearing the yellow. So he's like, "This is not mine." It's like Flashpoint. I mean, like,
It's exactly Flashpoint. And it's crazy because me and you were of the mindset of it was just going to be something as simple as Eobard was using Barry's face. But for you to just roll reverse, it's like, oh, okay, that's the way to go.
Yeah, Damien Dark is in it, and I thought he was dead. So I'm like, I gotta explain that shit. So I'm like, okay, here we go.
You know what? No, this is an alternate reality because it looks like, and again, you know that I have not seen it, so I'm not spoiling anything. It looks like Damien Dark is friends with whoever Barry is supposed to be.
Right.
So it seems like in this reality, Barry was the bad guy with Damien Dark, and Eobard was which by the way, the fact that they won't bring Matt Lesher.
Yeah, Lesher. I don't know why.
I don't know. Like that's Eobard's face.
That's his real face.
And and you just refuse to use them. And I'm like, I don't understand.
I don't get it. Is it a scheduling thing? I don't know.
It can't be, because I swear to God, the only thing I've ever seen this man in is Narcos. I've not seen him in anything else. So
Zorro.
You said Zorro?
Yeah.
Like the upcoming Zorro?
No, the original Zorro with Banderas.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
You never seen Zorro?
No, I saw and loved Zorro. I don't remember what role Matt Lesher had in.
Oh, he was what was his name? He was a white guy, the only white guy in the movie.
Then I got to go back and watch that movie again.
He was the officer. Damn, I forget his name.
Because the likelihood of me remembering that sounds like a needle in the haystack. Like it's the one white person in that entire movie. It's just like, I remember a white person in that movie?
The second white person, because the only other white person was the guy that they were rolling with, and then he gets shot by the other white guy. Remember?
White on white crime, Joel. Gotta love it.
I forget his name, but yeah, he played that. That was him. So there you go.
But yes, that's it. We look forward to we look forward to tomorrow's episode of Flash, so we can see how some of this starts to unravel. Me and Joel are still very confused on what the whole premise of the new season of Flash is. We still have no goddamn idea. None. So I guess we'll see it all play out. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to being surprised.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. We rarely get to be shocked, so fuck.
Right. So fuck it. Right. Exactly.
All right. Let's move on. What else did we get? Am I totally? Oh, Young Justice.
Right. Oh my God, what a good episode!
What a damn good episode, bro. Holy moly, bajoli! If you're Warner Brothers, get into this magic shit now.
Yeah, that was like
you got heavy hitter. I was just like, legally, should I like this as much as I am? Like, goodness gracious.
Yes, should. I mean, that was incredible. So far it's only been one episode, but I'm like, this is my favorite arc so far. Like, it's awesome. We're getting Zatanna's arc, it seems like. So it's gonna be all magic all the time. So it seems like she's training these, I guess, newbies. So one of them is Mary Marvel, one of them is Tracy 13, and the other one is Khalid. I don't know how he pronounces it. I swear,
when I saw Mary, I was just like, I swear to God, I have no idea how these fucking Shazam powers work. Like, I swear, each time
I'm just gonna individually use them.
Yeah, I'm just individually. I swear, each time I see them or anything about Shazam separately, I always go, I don't know how any of this works. I don't know.
I didn't know you could do that. That's impressive.
Yeah, because the way he asked him is just like, don't you kind of got to be together? No, not really. And it's just like, I don't think it works like that. But
well, she didn't explain what happened. She's kind of like, I had to like not do that anymore.
I had to separate myself from the rest of them. And it's just like, so what? The wizard was like, the wizard was just like, yo, you want to just use his powers whenever you need? It's just like, what?
Yeah, what happened to Billy?
The bargain. Yeah, what the hell? But I keep telling you, Joel, I'm gonna cry when I get that kid in live action.
When I get that kid and his cat in live action, I'm gonna cry. I swear to God, they're the coolest things over at DC, man. I love their characters. Those two characters so much. It's not even like they're extremely cool or anything, but I love how whiny he is and has a cat. Like, that cat, I think I would love more if he could talk, but I think what makes him so interesting is that he can't. So only he understands what the fuck the cat is saying, and we're just like, I don't know. Just be out, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But no, I enjoyed this episode, and shout out to you because you did say that we were going into a more mystic arc before the break, before the big break that we're gonna come.
I mean, so far so good. They're bringing in characters I've never heard of. Apparently, they're from like Gemworld, so I'm like, cool. I mean, the characters are from like whatever her name is, Amethyst, Princess Amethyst. So I'm like, because I've never heard of those two characters, which forget their names, but they said in the show that the rock creature and the little girl, the chaos girl, who's like Clarence of like chaos, an agent of chaos.
He was pretending to be him.
All right, so like we have a lot of that, so that was really cool. I love seeing Khalid, who's the future Dr. Fate, if everything goes according to plan. The fact that Dr. Fate in this is fucking Giovanni, after it was Giovanni who took up the mantle after Kent, I'm like, that was very different because Giovanni has never been Dr. Fate. It's usually been Kent Nelson. I mean, there's been different versions of Dr. Fate, but Giovanni was never one of them. He's always been missing and shit. Like, he disappeared. So the fact that they utilize him as much as they do, I appreciate Young Justice for doing that. And we got fucking because the whole episode it's this guy dictating like his past, which was Vandal Savage, right? And at the end of it, we get the Phantom Stranger. I'm like, holy shit, they're doing everybody. Holy shit.
Yeah, dope. No, they're pulling out all the stops for this show. This show just continues to be great, and we don't have to worry about it. HBO Max will bring it back for another season. They're gonna ride the show into the dirt. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in the way of it's gonna continue to do numbers. So the likelihood of them going, nah, we're gonna stop is slim to none. There's so much more story left to go. Mainly because
they're so creative too.
And mainly because they never focus on one individual story. So it's like, well, we haven't even seen them get to the point that they're still getting to, which is Darkseid. So I'm like, they could stretch that for as long as they want. There's so much story you can go with. You can introduce Mr. Miracle at some point. It's a lot you could do before you get up to that point.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna eat good, son.
Oh hell yes, we are. All right, we got a Matrix trailer today, the final trailer, because tickets went on sale. Even though I still got to say this, Warner Brothers, you made a huge mistake. And the mistake you made was this movie comes out around Christmas. Now, there are some people that do have a what do you call it? Not a ritual, but like where they go to the movies for Christmas or whatever. But it's to think that a lot of people around Christmas time are going to spend more money, you could just watch it at home for free, is very presumptuous for sure. So we'll see how it pans out because it comes out like 4 days before Christmas, and it's like, well, I just watch it at home. I just spent all that money on Christmas gifts. You want me to spend $20 on a ticket? Fuck out of here. Just watch it at home.
Yeah, I have a free pass here because when I went to go see Eternals the second time, the fucking thing fucked up, so they gave us a free pass. So I got a free pass. I can pay back if I want to, but why waste it if I could watch it?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, don't waste it. Don't waste it. Shit, we could use that for somebody for the Batman. Somebody doesn't have to pay when we go see the Batman.
We could do that.
Or Morbius even. I forgot Morbius was in January.
I don't have to pay for Morbius. That sounds like a
bada bing, bada boom. Neither one of us do.
It looks really cool. They showed us a thing of that too. The 3-minute transformation.
The clip. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to Sony's clip day. Matrix released their trailer. Their last trailer. This to me, I don't know how to feel. I was interested in seeing this movie when it was announced, then when the first trailer dropped. So I mean, I'll just say I'm the same. Nothing really changed, good or bad.
Okay.
What did you think of the trailer?
Good trailer. I was already becoming more excited for the movie. I have been getting more excited as we've been getting more stuff, and man, this new trailer was really cool. I mean, I was already gonna see it, but yeah, I'll say I'm a little more excited now that the more I've seen, because it's taking me a while to really get back into the Matrix mode.
Right.
But I do want to I do look forward to seeing this movie. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And especially now with the technology, it's so advanced now. I think it's up to par with what they want to do. So I am very excited, and I hope we get to see Neo in the video game next year. So as they're promoting it.
Oh, you're talking about the verses?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean,
multiverses. I want to see Neo in multiverses. That'd be cool.
Come on. You'd have to be stupid to not do that. But we have known Warner Brothers to be stupid. But anyway, yeah. I will say this though, Joel. This is a movie that if it did not come out on HBO Max, I would have gone to theaters to see, just not anytime around when it actually comes out.
I would have went out that weekend.
I probably would have had family that was coming down, and I just going all together and then having them talk. I can't do that shit.
No, I wouldn't either. But
yeah, I can't do that. I can't do too talkative. So yeah, but I would have seen it at some point, probably like the first week of January. I would have went and got like a matinee or something and seen it. So I want to make that very clear. This isn't a movie I'm only interested in because I could be lazy and just watch it from at home. I would have went to theaters to support it. But all right, let's head into Sony like you were just jumping into. Yes, we got the accurate scene from the comics of the first Morbius comic, where they were in the I don't know what you call those boats. I can't think what you
tanker.
I think it was a tanker, but that's right out of it. That's literally right out of it. So that was really fucking cool to see that.
I never read any Morbius. All I know about Morbius is from the cartoon. That's why I literally asked. I'm like, those suckers are real? Because that's all I knew.
Thank God that they're not. Goodness that they're not.
Oh my God, that was the disgustingest thing ever. But yeah.
But no, I'm really excited for this movie. And I think the suction thing was to get around not showing him biting.
Which is stupid because all the other vampires they showed bits. I'm like, what was the difference?
I also don't understand because you start the show by having a spider bite him. So I'm like, I don't understand. Like the vampire doesn't have to viciously bite him.
You don't have to see blood, obviously.
That's what I'm saying. Like the vampire doesn't have to go, give me your whole neck. Like, no, you don't have to do that.
Nosferatu. Wow, what a
But I'm like, you show a spider biting Peter's hand, and that's how he becomes Spider-Man. And so the fact that they just go, no, we draw the line at vampires. We can't do that. So that's funny. But anyway, I enjoyed the clip. I told you I'm excited for this movie. Nothing has changed. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait for us to go and see it. That's my thoughts. What were your thoughts on the clip? What are you watching? Are you watching Monday Night Football?
Yeah, it's in the background.
Okay, don't watch it. I feel like you're gonna jinx me. I feel like you're not rooting for me. So.
I'm like, I was like, flag, throw the flag.
See, you're not rooting for me. Stop watching it, Joel. God, you're gonna jinx me. Anyway, what did you think of the featurette that we got?
It was good. I told you, the CGI looked really good in this movie, like impressively so. So I was like, okay. Everybody I've watched it with and have seen it, I'm like, that looks cool.
It was like, no, I like this shit.
I'm impressed because people are impressed they're looking at it because everyone keeps talking shit about it. But I'm like, I mean, it looks good. I mean, honestly. So we'll see.
I don't know what there is to shit talk about. I honestly don't know.
It's a Sony movie. That's all.
That should not be the only thing we are equating for this movie. That's
I'm pretty sure any movie that's Sony, just Sony, that most people will talk shit about it.
I don't get it. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. So, because remember how Joe was saying that we were going to do, or Kitty was saying that we were going to do a all-time superhero movie, right? No. And then an all-time Spider-Man movie. So I was like, oh, for the Spider-Man movie, we're adding into the Spider-Verse, right? He's like, no, we're going to stay away from that. We're just going to do live action. I'm like, I don't like that. He's like, why not? I'm like, there's a lot of people in this world that rank that above most of these live action Spider-Man movies.
I rank it number one.
Yeah, so I'm like, to take it out isn't fair because it's like it's Spider-Man, so that it meets the parameters of the show. You just said it's all-time Spider-Man. That's a Spider-Man movie. But we were arguing because they were going into their dislike of DC movies when we were talking about superhero movies, and they were saying how they won't
Just
have
don't fucking mention them. That's all. That's
they're like, oh, we won't have any DC movies high up on there, and I'm like, you didn't like any of them? Oh, I did like Shazam, and I'm like, you didn't like Man of Steel? No. I'm like, okay, I can't be a part of this episode. I said I can feel it in my bones. I can't be a part of this. I can't. Yeah. I can't.
I try to avoid superhero ranking anything because I'm like, I'm not the person.
But here's my thing. Not picking a movie is not my issue. You have the right to pick whatever you want. My issue is going into why you did not pick that movie. I don't want to be I don't want to be a part of it. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't know why that became a topic. I mean, just don't mention the movies you don't want to mention.
Just don't mention it at all. Just don't mention
and don't talk shit about the ones I choose. We'll be good. You know what I mean?
I'm like, oof.
My favorites. These are my favorite movies.
I'm like, okay, man. And he's like, Man of Steel would make it on your list? I said, yeah, relatively high. I love Man of Steel. I love Shazam too. I love Aquaman. I love the first Wonder Woman.
I love Wonder Woman.
That's what he said. I'm sorry. That's what he said. I'm paraphrasing here. So maybe he didn't say this specific movie, but he was alluding to Wonder Woman 1984 was better than either Man of Steel or Aquaman. I think one of those he was saying. I was just like, all right, yeah, I don't think I'm meant to be on the show. It's okay. I can just.
I liked Wonder Woman 1984, but yeah, it's not better than Aquaman.
Yeah, its whole final act was just like, this. I mean, this is what you built the whole movie up to?
The Wonder Woman final acts have been a struggle.
Yes, I don't know why they can't finish it strong. It's like, well, what did you do before? What did you just do in the third act? Just do that.
I love that first movie. Yeah, the first one is up there. I think maybe the Suicide Squad has become my favorite DC movie, but I don't know. I haven't seen them in a while. I will be rewatching them eventually, but
I'll rewatch them when we get our next DCEU movie. I'll do the whole rewatch because I'm like, I can't rewatch all of it before the Batman. And none of that shit connects. So I'm like, it only.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You know, in that one fresh. Like, there's nothing to see here. You know?
Right. Don't expect anything.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, look, I just look at it and I say that it's really hard for me to think a superhero movie is just god awful. Like I told you, I went back and saw Thor: Dark World again, and it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I think it like Wonder Woman 1984 just struggled with its final act. Its final act was just bad.
I just thought the whole movie was boring. That was my issue.
See, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. I can't lie to you. I enjoyed it a lot. I did.
It was to me, it's still the weakest of all the Marvel.
That's why I love our friendship, because what movie did I tell you I thought was the weakest of Marvel?
Iron Man 3.
Yep. And which movie do you think is the weakest?
Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, that's why I love our friendship. And look, we don't hate each other. Look at that. Look how that works, guys.
Iron Man 3 is next on my list.
Hey, guess what? Thor: The Dark World is next on mine.
It's funny how that was the beginning of phase 2. I'm like, what a bumpy start.
I'm like, oh man. I'm like, is Feige done? Did he not want to continue? I'm like, if he didn't want to, that's no problem. Just say that. Don't put this shit out.
After those two movies, it was just clear sailing from there. It was like,
oof. But you had to get us there. That was the problem.
Yeah,
you had to be invested enough to go. Look. Those were a doozy. But what else you got?
Yeah, I'm still standing.
Oof. Because I tell you, he was looking for a knockout punch with those two movies back to back. All right, let me see what else we got before we get into what we've been watching. It's funny. I'm seeing Tia still try to bring American Gods back. Amy Pascal on her media tour says that they are planning a third Venom movie. We are in the planning stages right now. Excuse me. But we are focused on is getting everybody to come and see No Way Home. So I think that's Amy's way of saying Venom is in No Way Home.
Yeah. Everyone's
like, go ahead.
No, I have a friend that's like, how is he gonna be in No Way Home? It seems like he's gonna be in No Way Home. I'm like, he might be. I don't know where or when, but there's a good chance we may see him. I hope he is, but you know.
He has to be, because I swear that line Doctor Strange gives, I really do think that Electro, Lizard, and Sandman are what comes out towards the end of the movie, and that's what he was referring to. Because I'm like, this movie is too massive already for me to wrap my head around. More people are coming out, are coming out of nowhere. Like, this movie has to end at some point. That looks like that's the final battle. So in the middle of the final battle, unless he says, I can't stop it, more people are coming, and it's the two Spider-Men, maybe. But I'm like, that line is really sticking with me, Joel. And I can't process it. But yeah, hopefully we see Venom and Tom Holland Spider-Man very soon. It's what we've all been building towards. And finally, when they meet, we'll get our Spider, and all will become complete. All will be complete. That's all.
What?
No, I said the sooner we get Tom Hardy and Tom Holland's characters to meet, the quicker we get the Spider, and the quicker life will be
very
where it needs to be.
Curious how that plays out as well, because like obviously that's the one thing missing from Venom is the big white spider on the costume.
That's it. And we're also missing seeing Peter in all black.
Yeah, we've never. I mean, I block out Spider-Man 3.
No, you're right. We've never continued. Never
accurately see the symbiote suit on Peter. So I really hope. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
I think you might like this show. Let's say the symbiote jumps on Peter, right? Takes his whole essence, whatever. Then when it comes back on Eddie, are you okay if they just go the route of Venom just takes on what the look that he just had, and that's why we got the big white spider?
That's what happens.
Okay, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, he was on Spider-Man, he got on Eddie, and he kept the spider because he liked it.
Like this. It's a lot.
This is me now.
Yeah, he's just like, this is me. I feel this. I like this. I'm liking it. But all right. Let's move on. Colin Farrell is indeed coming back to be Penguin in the Batman spinoff for HBO Max. Yeah. That was up in the air when the first announcement came out that he was that we were getting a Penguin show. Right. And look, I'm excited for this Penguin show. Like I said, this is going to be difficult to see how they utilize Penguin in a way that is just drastically different than what Gotham did.
I'm very curious.
Because the two shows that they've announced sound a lot like what Gotham just did.
Yeah, but obviously separately.
Where you're focusing on GCPD and the corruption, Gotham. Mm-hmm. You're focusing on the evolution of Penguin, Gotham. So I'm like, okay, no, I'm with you. I just need to see how you do.
It's very Gotham centric, but also very different because of the fact that this is Batman in year one than that Gotham show. You know what I mean? Year one Batman, where he's a ghost, basically, he's a myth. Right. That's awesome. You know, it's not a fucking little boy. You know?
Yeah, we don't need that ever again. Yeah, that was really stupid.
Penguin finding himself with Fish Mooney.
Right. Yeah, that was just like, I'm sorry, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, what is that?
Very curious to see how they do Penguin. What about that Penguin gets him a spinoff?
Yeah,
you know, that Penguin spinoff, dude.
That is the dying.
I better see fucking umbrellas with guns. I'm saying.
That is the dying question. Because again, it looks like Joel, the way he's going to get his show is Batman's going to take down Falcone, and then it just leaves a power vacuum for anyone to fill, and he's the one that steps up to fill it. Because I told you I saw the set photos of Penguin like standing next to Falcone, so it seems like they're close, like he's maybe the tutelage. Again, but guess where they did that?
Like a lieutenant.
Gotham. They did that in Gotham. So it'll be good. It'll be good to see how they utilize it. All right. So wait. Let me go back. Okay, here we go. All right. So we got Destin Daniel Cretton is working on a new MCU series for Disney Plus. That's very obvious what that is. I don't know who they think they're for.
10 Rings.
It's clearly the 10 Rings. That's fucking obvious. I don't know who the fuck they think they're for.
What?
But he also has signed back on to direct the sequel to Shang-Chi, and we are excited.
Yeah, obviously, we just got announced that he's gonna come back and he's gonna do the series 10 Rings and the movie the sequel to Shang-Chi. So you're like, wow. Now we don't know anything about what the story's gonna be, but I really am looking forward to like, what the fuck is a 10 Rings story? And who's gonna be the lead? Is it gonna be Xialing the whole movie?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Xialing, and what I think it might be, because remember, we have a whole right now is a very interesting time for Marvel. Because we have a lot of factions forming, right? I think Fisk will start to be Fisk, what he's doing with Echo in Tracksuit Mafia. We got the Power Broker. We got the 10 Rings. We're starting to build factions here to where it's just like, oh, someone's going to have to start sniffing out some of these organizations. But here's the thing, Joel. I do believe, what's his name, who plays Shang-Chi? What's his name? I'm blanking. I'm trying not to be disrespectful. Simu Liu. He's not a big enough name for me to believe that he won't be in this series maybe at some point.
Yeah, it's possible.
So I do think you'll have some kind of connection weaving in and out there.
Especially because he doesn't know that she's
exactly that's the thing. Yeah. So picture when he finds out and
she's like, she went back to dismantle or whatever the fuck.
Right.
And he's like, no, bitch, I'm in charge now.
But she technically did. She dismantled what her father built, and she's building something different.
She's rebuilding her and her vision.
She's rebuilding her empire.
I wonder if she gets a nickname, like her dad was the Mandarin.
Maybe she might actually take on the name. Because remember, he said he never liked the name. He never used the name.
He called me orange.
Right. But yeah, that, you know what? I'm sorry, Joel. I'm sorry. That's stupid. Ignore me. Because he made it very clear how offensive that name was. So for her to take it on would be just like, that's how you see yourself? You think you're a fucking orange? Like, when he said that, it was kind of just like, this name will never be used ever. Ever. When he said that, the first thing I said was, that's a good point.
That's a good point. Fact.
Like that, but I'm like, makes sense. All right, let's move on. You know that I am, but I've never asked you if you are. How big of a Harry Potter fan are you?
I am a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I'm sorry, we're talking about Harry Potter?
I hate you so much, but why do I hate you? Is the question. Why? No, so I'm really excited for this the return of Hogwarts, the 20th anniversary. Everyone's coming back for this. Everyone that's, and this is not me trying to be funny, everyone that's clearly still alive. And we will see Ralph Fiennes come back as he who shall not be named. I can't wait for that. I hope the reassembling of this is to announce that we will get a follow-up movie in that world rather than going prequel. We can go sequel.
I hope so. Because look, I started rewatching them because I'm showing them to Autumn.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get into it. I want her to watch it because I really kind of want to rewatch them anyway. So I'm like, we got to. I forgot. Prisoner of Azkaban, I think was the last one I saw, and I've seen them all already. But it's been so long since I've seen them. I don't remember a fucking thing about this shit at all. I just know Harry exists. Like, it's about it. So like now we got to Harry. We haven't seen past Prisoner of Azkaban, but the plan is to continue past that eventually. But that's the last Harry Potter we saw as a family.
Oh man, I'm just picturing someone that leaves the movie theater and it goes, man, so what'd you think of the movie? All I remember is some guy named Batman. And it's like, bitch, you just saw the movie called Batman. You didn't pick up anything else from it? Nah.
Those names are very hard to remember, bro.
That's it. The Batman guy. Who's the umbrella thing? The umbrella man? But no, Harry Potter.
Quidditch. You know about Quidditch? I know the sport of Quidditch.
No, but you know Hermione, you know Ron Weasley.
Hermione and Ron, I know them. I know the house Slytherin,
You know Snape.
Gryffindor.
Yep.
Yep, Professor Snape.
Mhm.
Ravenclaw. I'm a Ravenclaw. I've already I called it. There's the Hufflepuffs, right? The Hufflepuffs.
I feel more like a Hufflepuff kind of guy.
You look like a Hufflepuff.
I'm a Hufflepuff kind of guy. Fuck you.
I'm gonna text April. I'm like, look, he's a Hufflepuff. He admitted
I'm
it.
I'm a Hufflepuff. What can I say? I'm a Hufflepuff. All right. So yeah. So hopefully we get some news out of that, and it's not just we're all getting back together and then that's it. Because I have no interest in that. I'm never a fan of that. If I'm being honest with you, ever. I'm never a fan of like, man, it's been 60 years since we've been together. Let's get together again. And it's like, are you bringing the show back? No, we just wanted to let people know what we look like today. Bitch, I don't care. Give me more of your movies. But anyway, all right, let's move on, Joel. Me and you have been talking about this ad nauseum. MODOK is rumored to have a major role in the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania film. We've said this, Joel, well before this movie went into production and we knew that Kang was going to be in it and whatnot. We said
there were rumors, yes.
MODOK. Like before rumors or anything, to me and you, it just made the most sense. It's like it's a character that you get funny with to blend with the humor of Ant-Man and the Wasp. And it's also somebody that makes sense scientifically to go up against the smarts of Hank. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that would have been perfect, you know, to have Scott making big head jokes while Hank's trying to figure out quantum theories or whatever the hell to stop him. I'm like, it just makes
supreme, baby. Yeah.
Right. It makes the most sense. So what are your thoughts on this? And do you see this being, I'm trying to think of what I can compare this to. Give me a second. I'm trying to think. Okay, I know what I can compare this to. So do you think not MODOK, do you think Kang will be like what Justin Hammer was in Iron Man 3? Because he was a villain, but not the main villain. That was clear who the main villain was.
You're saying, all right, say that again.
Okay, so I believe, just like I know you do, that MODOK will be the main bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think, because remember in Iron Man 2 how Ivan was the big bad, but Justin Hammer was the thorn in the side during the entirety of the movie. Do you think
the lingering threat,
right,
but non-violent threat is what it was?
Right. Do you think Kang will be more so like that, to where he's not in your face threat, but he's setting up for the next time you see him for him to truly become that threat?
Yeah, I've been saying, like, I don't think Mode, I don't think Kang was I don't think you can leave Kang as the main villain in Ant-Man 3.
Right.
Like, because like what you're telling me is Ant-Man's going to beat Kang. So like you're setting up Kang to be one of the main threats in the Marvel universe. So if that's the case, to me he's gonna be in it because for some reason he's in it, but I don't think he's the villain they're gonna stop. The villain they're gonna have to worry about is really MODOK.
Right. And
Kang is he's gonna live throughout it. Like just like Thanos was in Guardians 2, but you didn't fight Thanos.
Because I mean, it would have been hard for people to wrap their heads around. You need that many Avengers to beat Thanos if the Guardians could do it. It's like
he was in Guardians 1. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Joel. I know what you meant. I hope that, because what I don't want, Joel, is for MODOK to be a throwaway villain. I don't want that at all. It already seems like you'll never give me Arnim Zola. So if that's the case, fine, I'll live with it. But you can't never give me Arnim Zola and make MODOK a throwaway villain we don't see again.
Huh.
You know, so I'm hoping they go the route of MODOK is a enemy of Hank's past. You know, they were scientific foes, but now MODOK has created himself into an ultimate weapon. And I'm just picturing in my head, MODOK goes to kill Ant-Man, and he's just like, "You're not Hank Pym. Who are you?" Just like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? So I can
Right.
see something really cool like that, and I hope they go that route, because the best MODOK story I've ever seen, I've ever read, I've ever heard about was from Marvel's Avengers, that video game. I loved how they utilized MODOK. That was perfect. To where he was just trying to fix himself, and in fixing himself, she made him into a bigger monster.
Right.
So I wouldn't be against it if somewhere Hank fucked up and, you know, put MODOK on the path to becoming, you know, Jimmy Neutron's grandfather. Anyway, so I am. We're both really excited for that, because we do want to see MODOK utilized properly.
Yeah.
We want to see him utilized properly. All right, so I'm gonna throw this in here really quickly, Joel. We're not gonna stick on this, but it's 10 seconds left, and Spurs are only down to the Suns by 3.
We're gonna lose.
Yeah, so that lets us know they're gonna play the hell out of us tomorrow. They're like, "We couldn't beat the Suns, but we'll beat you." It's like,
Yeah,
no. All right. I don't think there's anything else. Let me see if there's any other big stuff that we forgot about. Let me see. While I'm looking that up, Joel, you finally caught up on Dexter?
Yes, I'm caught up on Dexter.
Tell me, bro.
Dexter,
When I tell you, I cried. I cried when his old partner was at the event, and I was just like, when he said, "Wait, what was his name?" I don't remember. And then he goes, "Harrison," and I'm like, "No, shut your mouth! Stop it!"
No, now she fucking knows. It's just
But
like,
to be
oh,
fair, though,
shit.
Joel, if you think about it, Dexter doesn't have anything public that would give him up. Because remember, he was when the cop was talking to her, he was saying that Dexter and his sister had died.
Right. He didn't know. They don't know that he was the.
They don't know anything else around it. They just know that he died. That was it. So that's really interesting. In the trailer for the next episode, is her kind of just wanting to know why, not really accusing, just wanting to know why.
Why did you fake your why'd you fake your death, right. Basically? Because as far as his not his partner, but
no, he was his actual partner.
All, you know, they worked together.
Yeah,
he was a sergeant and he was the forensics guy. But yeah, why'd you fake your own death? Basically, is what's gonna go. It's gonna come down to that. And you're like, oh, how is he gonna get out of this? That's the best thing about the Dexter show. Like, how is he fucking surviving?
How to get out of it, right?
Like, for real.
And I tell you, Joel, I was on the edge of my seat when Harrison was talking to what's her name's daughter, and he's just like, you know, that's not even really his name, and I'm just like, she's way too smart to just knock that off. It's like, oh, he's just high out of his mind. She's gonna go.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I did think that myself. Who is this motherfucker?
Who is
I was
this?
just like, when she said that, and then when he remembered the name Harrison, I was just like, oh no.
Connecting the dots. Like you said, like now I'm like, I kind of want. Oh man, I hope he doesn't die. Again, I hate saying the idea of Dexter dying, because it just seems that seems like where it's gonna go. But I just I love Dexter, so.
And it looks like they're setting up exactly what I told you I felt they were setting up. It looks like they're setting up that Harrison has the killer gene, and he's gonna go through a whole new series of his own, where it's his dad coming back to haunt him, like Dexter's dad did.
I don't know if I like that yet. I mean, I've warmed.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've warmed up to it, but I still, you know, it's weird. I like Dexter. I'm not gonna Harrison.
I'm with you. Look, I'm with you. I'm with you. You think I like watching Power every week with no fucking ghosts?
You think I like watching Power every week with no ghosts?
But I only accept it because it's good.
At least I like Harrison. I hate fucking Tariq. I still hate him. Like every time he gets something good going his way, I'm like, fuck that kid.
You know what? Let me just say this. We're going to get into Power. But I'm telling you right now, Tariq's sister being kept away from him is 100% Joel. They don't show it in each episode, but Joel is in the back like, he is dangerous. Do not, do not let her go home to him. Tariq's like, who keeps cock blocking me here? And meanwhile, Joel's just like,
I don't know where he keeps getting these women. Get away from him. He's a murderer.
bro. The fact that he has 3 women pining for him, I'm just like,
I know.
you don't deserve this. He didn't even have 3 women. He had 2, and technically 1, because he stopped loving Tasha the minute Angela showed up.
For real.
I'm like, he just
completely. I'm over it. He's like,
what makes you think you can have nice clothes, sell good drugs, and have 3 women you can sleep with? No, sir. No, sir. I'm with Joel.
Nice college, fuck that guy.
Yeah, and then the only part
that your dad, you piece of shit. He wasn't even a bad dude, you motherfucker.
The only thing that made me happy is when he's just like, "Damn, I need a car," and I'm just like, "Ha! You gotta walk everywhere. Something bad has to happen to you. Walk everywhere."
Somebody's gonna get him a car by the end of the season.
Oh man, that's too funny. All right, back to Dexter. Great episode. This Harrison kid is wild. I didn't even know that was a gene you could pass on. I thought that shit was a myth. Killer gene?
This is his Dark Passenger.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
He had the same experience. I don't know if it's a gene thing. It's just his son literally lived through the same bullshit he did.
Right.
Unfortunately,
but he was making it sound like it was something he passed on. Not that his son just experienced.
He does, but that's how he explains it. But like, I can't tell you. I'm not a serial killer. I don't know. I don't have that. What do they call that? No empathy thing.
Right.
I don't get it. So I don't know. I have empathy. The fact that his son is struggling with empathy is scary because anybody that doesn't have feelings is scary. But I guess we'll see. Because right now, like, he found out. He basically the fact that he's still good at that, the whole blood spatter thing, just doesn't even make sense. He looked down, he's like,
he immediately was just like, he is such a fucking beginner, bro. Like, come on. But here's the funny
thing. Have working here because
I was just about to say that, Joel. The fact that he worked in forensics and saw it immediately and was just like, nah, this isn't right. How horrible is that town's forensic team that they studied for hours and was just like, nope, it happened exactly how Harrison said. It's like, well, did you even try?
Yeah, it's so podunk. They're like, fuck it. Yeah, obviously.
They're just like, yeah, Harrison, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Yes. It's like, so you're just not even going to try to do your job. All right, okay.
What is it? What? That's all they heard, man.
They're just like, yep, okay, we can go home? Sure, yes. But Harrison's fucking crazy, and I feel so horrible for that kid who already had a tough life as is, being catfished, and now he's gonna go to prison. And it's just like, damn, the kid didn't even do anything. Like, sure, did he want those people dead? Yeah, but they're assholes.
I mean, that book was real. It's not like that was fake, but still,
no,
like it was all.
Harrison, if you're Harrison, that was a perfect cover. Once you saw that, you were just like.
That's why he did it, though. He just wanted to feel what it's like to shank a motherfucker because he was listening. He was listening to the serial killer thing on his podcast or whatever the fuck, and he's hearing about like his mother getting killed. It stays with you, right? So, but that's the same issue his father has. He just doesn't know it. Like, yeah, I fucking want to kill everyone. Yeah, I understand. Like,
I understand that more than you could ever know. I just killed someone yesterday for you.
Yeah, I literally killed a few people because they almost drugged you, and they like indirectly.
Indirectly, and I blame him. Technically, Dexter, if he had his way, would have killed 2 people that day.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a dad for you. That's how you amount a dad. He has to kill at least 6 people a month. That's what makes a good papa.
Keep you safe. Not
like, I'm just picturing, like, Dad, I was at the supermarket and someone hit my car door and he goes, someone hit your car door? How close were you to that car door? Right by it. Nicked my elbow. Stay here. I'll be back. You hear on the news? You hear on the news a day later that those people are dead. Yeah, did you do that? Of course I did, honey. No one hit your car door. No one.
Nicks your elbow.
No one nicks your elbow. I will cut them. But no. So Dexter was awesome. I can't wait to see how it shapes out. And I did not know, which, by the way, I tried to Google it. whoever that actress was.
Yeah.
That old boy had trapped in that room.
Hello.
A-okay. A-okay.
You are who?
When she was like, "Oh, is this what you want?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "No. Don't you stop us from
What do you mean no? What are you? Like,
you don't have to see it. We want to see it. Keep going."
I scream at TV. You don't speak for me.
You don't know how I'm feeling. Put the screen back up. No, I was probably the most frustrated I've ever been watching that. Just like, oh yeah, she's hot. Oh, wait, what? No, what?
What do you mean you don't want to?
What? But I did want to
Why
ask.
do you have her in there then, you fucking weirdo?
Yeah, like I didn't understand that. That was the weirdest thing. I guess he was trying to break their will. I don't know. It was weird.
He just said something. He's like, run so I can shoot you. No, don't come near me.
No. See, I took that different. I took it as he put the gun on her because remember, she was saying she didn't want to leave.
She didn't. She bitch wanted to stay.
Right. So I think he had the gun because that was his way of trying to get her to go. Like,
it completely worked the opposite of the way he wanted. Like,
yeah, and then it was so confusing. He was just like, all right, you can go. And then she was just like, nah, fuck this. And then she runs towards him. I'm like, I don't think that's how that's supposed to go. I think and then here's the funny thing. If you look at that scene again, all she had to do was hit the corner, go back around the house, and then she's gone. This fat ass wasn't catching up. I don't understand. I don't understand. All right, let's move on. We can get into Power. It was a solid episode this week. Can I just say this, Mary J. Blige? I don't know who your acting coach is, but you got to pay them better. Because I swear to God, the smallest thing upsets Monet. I swear to God, her daughter will come home and go, "Hey, Mom, I poured you some orange juice. You poured my orange juice? Do you not know how much drugs I had to sell to get you orange juice?" And it's like, why are you so angry? Like, what is wrong? It's just orange juice. No, it's not just orange juice. Your daddy is in prison. I had to kill people for you to get orange juice. It's like, Mom, you are just this is too much. But I did like my favorite part of the entire episode is when Sax realized he can get Tejada out of prison. Because what's going to be real interesting is when Monet finally falls for this new guy, right? Which is really somebody from her past, but I mean new to us, character-wise. And then her husband comes home, and now we got a turf war.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how.
That's why they're doing it, though. The start of fucking war. I'm like, oh, you guys are dark.
Exactly. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Part of me is just like, because I know people have been assuming this since forever, that Kane is Kanan's son. I was never of that mindset, but I'm starting to think they just did it based off of the name. I'm starting to think maybe Kane is this guy's son.
Kane is black as fuck.
He ain't from his mom.
I don't give a fuck, bro. That kid is too dark to be anybody that's not. He ain't no half breed. I don't give a fuck what you say. I've seen half breeds.
So you're saying it's not Tejada or this
definitely Kanan's son is what I'm saying. No.
Oh.
No, I don't know. I don't know what he
if they went that route, I would have loved it because that's a way that Tariq and him could have bonded. Especially if he found out that Tariq is why his dad's no longer alive. That would have been really interesting. Kane is such a because here's the thing, right? Like it'd be like in a Batman world, knowing that Batman's name is Bruce, and then you bring in a character named Deuce, and it's just like you could have named him anything else. I feel like you were doing that for a reason. So the fact that his name is Kane, and we had a Kane in, is just like they had to have done that for a reason.
And he definitely is darker than the other two. I mean, obviously so. Like, so I'm like, he might not be his dad. I mean, we don't know that for sure. That's a good question. I mean, now that the people bringing it up, I waved it off because I was like, he ain't mixed, but whatever you want to call him mixed. All right. He might have a different daddy. I mean, Monet having secrets isn't fucking new, obviously. So,
yeah.
Interesting. That could be a plot point down the road.
That would be very interesting, especially because he already hates Tariq. And that's with no reason to hate Tariq.
No, we all have reasons to hate Tariq. So I get it, Kane. Like,
oh man, I'm just preparing myself for this season finale where it's just Joel and Kane standing over Tariq with a gun. It's just like, Joel, how did you even get in the episode? What is your character's name? No, it's just me. It's me. I hate him.
I'm backing up Kane because this kid's a fucking murderer.
Like, he doesn't even question it. Joel just walks up and goes, "Hey, can I kill him?" It's like, well, who are you? Are you a cop? No. I also hate him. It's just like,
I got you back.
So yeah, sure, come on, let's do it. But yeah, so it was a solid episode of Power. What else did we get? I started this show called Yellow Jackets. It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Showtime, pretty interesting. When you get a chance, you and April check it out because it's fucking weird, bro. It's a weird show. Also, what else? Mayor of Kingstown is just so fucking good. So good. Jesus Christ, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Renner. I don't understand the disrespect Jeremy Renner gets. I really don't.
I don't either, but I mean, people just, I don't know. He has fans, but people that hate him bad. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what did he do to you? Like,
I swear to God, one day I just saw Jeremy Renner breathe, and someone was just like, "Bro, enough. I've had it." It's just like, too much for me. Enough. Enough. I can't have it anymore.
I don't understand hating people like that in general, but because some people just hate people that hate people. I don't get that. But.
Well, look, I'm gonna make it clear. I don't hate Anthony Mackie. I just don't think Anthony Mackie should be an actor. That is where my hate begins and ends. I don't know the man. I just know that I never feel anything when I see him on the screen.
I'll say the only acting I'm not as picky when it comes to acting. I'll say the acting. You want to see bad acting? I've been watching Chucky. Old Andy.
See, Joel. I wish you joined the review with me and Joe and Kitty, because I kept saying it has to be that they're doing this for a reason. You could not have done a casting call and saw these people and said, it's going to be a good show. It just can't be.
The actors are fine. Andy's bad. The original actor.
You like the main kid?
Huh?
You like that main kid who does this all the time?
Yeah. He's fine. He doesn't bother me.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't bother me.
That guy is never not confused about something. He'll just walk in a room and go, "Is there juice?" And it's like, what the fuck is that face? Like, huh?
But at least he emotes. My problem is that the guy that plays Andy, who is actually the real Andy.
Right, the real Andy.
So I appreciate his back, but he does not emote.
But could you make an argument that that's how that character is supposed to be?
No, I can't make an argument like that. He's human. He's supposed to emote.
No, you've seen movies with me. You see me never emoting.
You watch movies with me. That's very different.
Seen that before. You've seen me do that.
Yeah. I rarely complain about acting. That guy's acting needs some work if he's going to continue doing this with this show.
He will continue. They got renewed for season 2.
The fucking acting thing. Shit, I'm back. Might as well fucking.
So what did
you
do? Because and again, I'm referring to the show. This is no shots at anybody at all. But Joe said the funniest part. You saw the finale, right?
The finale
of Chucky.
No, I did not.
Oh damn!
I'm on the last episode.
Okay, I can't say it then. All right, I'm glad I asked.
I'm on one episode before the end.
Okay, no problem. Maybe we'll do a review afterwards, because I do want you to hear some of Joe's thoughts, because I think you guys will laugh a lot. He had some similar thoughts.
It's a good show. I mean, I forgot how it ended recently, but I was like, oh shit. It's like the last couple episodes, every time I end them, oh fuck.
It's really good.
I do love how they use his daughter for as him.
Yes.
That's really
Nika.
I remember her from another show. And she uses the same fucking voice that she uses when she's Chucky.
Really?
In that show, yeah.
Only thing I've ever seen her in was Blacklist. The show Blacklist.
I don't watch Blacklist.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've ever seen her in. I don't
remember.
remember.
Damn it. I can't remember the name of the show. Dirk Dastard, some shit like that. It was an interesting show. She's a fucking psycho in that show, but she nails it. So that's when I saw her again. I'm like, I know the voice. She's just much cleaner in this show than she was in.
Right? Dorf, that's her dad.
Dorf, yeah.
Brad
Dorf.
Brad
Dorf.
Brad? Yeah, Brad. Okay.
I believe it was Brad Dorf, yeah. Yeah, he was, and I love his voice. The fact that he hasn't changed at all in all these years is amazing.
Not at all. That she's able to somewhat get into what you would imagine is the exact character of Charles Lee Ray.
She nails it. I'm like, fuck, she's good.
She's really good. I can't wait to see the finale, and I'm really glad that I shut my mouth before I ruined something for you. All right. What else has come out? I think that's about it. I think that's really it. Yeah, because we're hitting about our usual time that we usually hit. I think
I looked at all the news recently. I think we hit everything. We're pretty good. Oh, speaking.
Oh, yeah. I said the same thing. Yeah, that was actually a really good episode.
I didn't see it this week, so I might do that after this.
Yeah, please do. That was really, really, really funny. Like really, really, really funny. I don't know what is happening with Amazon and The Boys. Do they just not want to give us season 3 or?
They're still working on it, apparently.
I don't understand how. I swear to God, they said they were done filming like 4 months ago. I don't understand. You don't have a release date, a trailer, nothing? Like, can we hear something? Goodness gracious. Oh, shoot, Joel. Last thing, and then we're getting out of here. Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse. And it's a part 1. I wonder when they made that decision. That's a very interesting decision to make. Like, this movie is so massive, it needs 2 parts. We're going to do 1, and then we'll do another. I really enjoyed this little featurette that they gave. I love seeing Gwen and Miles back, but seeing O'Hara, and it looks like O'Hara was fighting Miles through different.
Yeah, it looked like he was chasing Miguel. Miguel was chasing Miles. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so
she's gonna go down.
Yeah, so I'm curious as to what's happening with that. But I did love that when Gwen walked in the room, she's just like, oh, what have you been working on? And she looks, and it's just her, and it's like, all right, I've missed you too, weirdo. All right.
Yeah. Like, my favorite is the head down. Like, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I draw you. Sorry, I missed you a lot.
Yeah.
And someone was making like a little dig, like, oh my God, he's listening to the same fucking song. That's a great song. That is a great song.
It could be a coincidence, but
no, forget that, Joel. It's just a good song.
Yeah, but honestly, 3 years later, it could be.
Yeah. Shit.
It fits, it's the same song from the first movie. Who cares? Why are you overthinking it?
It's his soundtrack, but it's a good. Like, if it was a horrible song, I could at least go, "Well, goddamn, the song's horrible." But it's a really good song. I love that.
It is. But that's what I'm saying. It's a coincidence that like 3 years later, it's the same song that he's playing.
It's just like I've listened to nothing else for years.
I don't change
this one song. Nothing changed. The draws are the same. The clothes are the same.
3 years later, same music playing. I mean, I do that too, so I get it. But like, okay,
listen to that song before the featurette came out. So when it started playing, I was just like, is it just playing what I was just playing? And it's like, no, this is the trailer. Okay, all right, yeah. So I'm glad that they dropped it because it doesn't come out till this time next year. So that was interesting that instead of just a teaser, they gave us a scene.
Yeah, nice. It was a nice little morsel for like you said, it'll be out next October, I think. So
she said December.
October 7th.
Oh shit! I've been saying this whole time. This time next year.
It was December the first time, and right now it's in October.
When did they change it?
Oh no, don't remember. A lot of switching shit, the last couple of years. So
goddamn Amy Pascal. Anyway, yeah. So I'm excited. This is awesome. I can't wait to see how see when we get a trailer for this. Actually, that's real. I guess San Diego Comic-Con, maybe before that. I don't know. I'm also hearing a rumor, Joel, that we'll get a Doctor Strange trailer before the year's over. So I assume probably the week.
Hopefully with Spider-Man. That'd be good. You know?
That would be good because I keep telling people you can do a Doctor Strange trailer that doesn't spoil this movie.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
gonna
show
be just like
whatever scenes have to do with Strange and Wanda, and then just hide everything else.
Yeah, or just save it for after Spider-Man. That's fine too. I'll take it the week after. Whatever.
I don't mind. I'm not in a rush. I kind of would rather see Spider-Man first to get a better concept on what Doctor Strange could be doing.
Right.
know?
So like let's get a sneak peek and then this spring.
Right.
Like give us something.
All right.
Give me a teaser. So
yeah, it also could be a little snippet. It doesn't come out till May, so whatever you want to do.
we got time.
And clearly I wanted to also mention Black Panther is not coming out next year.
Not official. He's assuming.
I think we should make it as official as we could make anything official. It stopped filming. It wasn't even filming long before it stopped. There's no way it's coming out next year. There's no way. It will be 2023. If anything, I could see, depending on when Captain Marvel or the Marvels starts filming, maybe they move that up and move Black Panther into the
places.
Yeah, I could see that. But I don't even know when that starts filming, so I don't know.
Marvel's already started filming.
Oh, it did? Then yeah, I could 100% see that swapped in. 100%. Yeah. But all right, that's all me and Joel got for you guys. Stay tuned this week for an all-new episode of that's what we're doing now. Figure It Out. Figure It Out. And also of Marvel Cinematic Review. I can't wait for us to review what this new episode of Hawkeye is. I can't wait. I cannot wait, man. I can't wait. But
MCR, be there or be square.
Yeah, and please go watch our video that is up now, Much to Do About Something. Us breaking down the news of Charlie Cox being in the MCU and where we could see him popping up. We're at 12 likes and 102 views within less than a day. So keep it pumping, guys, and also check out the Christian Harloff interview. Check that out also.
I saw that.
All right. So that was a really good time. That was an awesome time talking to Christian Harloff.
Christian's the man.
Christian is 100% the man. So make sure you guys go check that out. And me and Joel will see you guys next time. Peace.